Thank you for joining us. We're going to go ahead and get started. I know it's early for some of you on the West Coast, but so I just want to start by introducing myself. For those of you who didn't meet me at the reception last night, I'm Fraser Benya. I helped to organize this whole affair, and I'm really pleased to see all of you here. It's a wealth of knowledge in this room, and I really look forward to the discussions you all have. So welcome. I'm going to introduce my colleague Proctor Reed from the Program Office in the National Academy of Engineering, and he's going to give you a little welcome and introduction to the National Academy of Engineering. So, Proctor?
Good morning. It's a lively group this morning. Yeah, get your coffee. I'm Proctor Reed. I direct the programs, the engineering sort of policy research programs for the National Academy of Engineering, of which the Center for Engineering and Ethics and Society is a part, and a very vital part of our work. And on behalf of our president, Dan Moat, I want to welcome all of you to the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. It's our new branded name. Now we are an integrated whole, and to this particular workshop. And up front, I'd like to thank all of you who have made significant contributions and will today make additional contributions to the topic of focus, and that is the infusion of engineering ethics into the education, formation, and development of engineers. I know that many of you have been at this for some time, and really we appreciate your time and input to this activity. My task this morning is to take a few minutes to say a bit about who we are, to place today's workshop in the context of what we do at the Academy of Engineering and the academies more broadly. Probably put a little bit of emphasis on our grand challenges of engineering initiative, since that is a very high priority of our president at the moment. And I would say a few words about the origins of the Center for Engineering Center for Engineering Ethics and Society, and the inspiration for today's workshop. A little background on the Academy. For those of you who aren't familiar with us, we were founded in 1964. We are a private, independent, nonprofit institution that provides engineering and leadership and service to the nation. The mission of the Academy of Engineering is to advance the welfare, the well-being of the nation by promoting a vibrant engineering profession and by marshaling the expertise and insights of eminent engineers to provide independent advice to the federal government on matters involving engineering and technology. So that is our membership and others from the broader community. Now, we have more than 2,000 peer-elected members and foreign members in the Academy of Engineering. These are senior professionals in business, academia, and government who are among the world's most accomplished engineers. They provide leadership and expertise for our activities focused on the relationships, between engineering, technology, quality of life, and so on. We are part of the National Academies of Sciences, Engineering, and Medicine. We operate under the same congressional charter that was that established the NAS back in the Lincoln administration back in 1863. And under this charter, the NAE and its sister institutions are directed to, quote, whenever called upon by any department or agency of the government to investigate, examine, experiment, and report upon any subject of science or art. We define our art as engineering, among other things, and we do this at cost, basically for free. But we are not a nonprofit organization. We are a nonprofit organization. Each year, we involve roughly 6,000 volunteer experts. Since I use the term volunteer, we seek people out and dragoon them into service. Actually, they work with us very willingly, and and we are very appreciative of that. We pull from our membership and from the wider science, engineering, and health communities to help us with studies and other activities to address a wide range of questions and topics at the nexus of engineering, science, health, and policy. These are largely, or for the most part, requested of us by federal agencies or parts of the federal government, but many of our activities are initiated internally in dialogue, working with our standing boards and committees of experts who help us identify issues, and we communicate with prospective sponsors, finding support for sort of self-initiated activities as well. The NAE's activities are well, as you say, the engineering activities of the academies cut across many parts of the institutions, not just within the NAE. This includes all 6 units of the National Research Council. Many of you have perhaps worked with or volunteered with either whether it's the Division on Engineering and Physical Sciences, our Transportation Research Board, our Division on Behavioral Social Sciences and Education, and it's really quite a broad spectrum of program activities. With respect to engineering, I would say there are really 2 types of work that we engage in. One is engineering for policy, and the other is policy for engineering. Bringing to bear engineering on major areas of policy such as health, energy, environment, economic growth, and the like, and those activities that are really more concerned with or focused on the health and vitality of the engineering enterprise, so education, research, workforce, and so on. The studies and activities within my office are carried out both independently by the Academy of Engineering and jointly with other units of the national academies. And we are primarily focused on the issue of policy for engineering. So really, the 2 major thrusts of our programmatic work relate to the health and vitality of engineering and the engineering profession under the mantles of ensuring engineering talent and sort of public engagement or public understanding of engineering. Many of the activities that I'm going to mention really cut across both of these areas, but those are sort of 2 major thrusts. With respect to the first, ensuring engineering talent, we are engaged in a range of activities that address the full spectrum, really from pre-K through career of engineers. We've got a body of work looking at pre-K through 12 engineering education studies that have helped us sort of understand the landscape of activity, what is going on in that space, and how that relates to STEM education more broadly at the K-12 level. We have a resource website that we're very proud of, standing up called Link Engineering, that is meant to support educators at this level in bringing engineering into the classrooms, pre-K through 12 level. At the other end, the sort of bookend of this, we have our Frontiers of Engineering activity. This has been running 25, 26 years. It's a program that brings together sort of early to mid-career rock star engineers, both domestically and bilaterally internationally. We bring them together for a 2 or 3 day meeting where the real purpose of this activity is to bring engineers from different disciplines together to discuss leading edge topics, research and technology, to bridge these disciplinary boundaries, transfer techniques and approaches, and we hope through this to sustain and build a greater innovative capacity in this country and elsewhere. It also really does promote the career development and create a network of future engineering leaders, both, to say, in the U.S. We also have bilaterals with Germany, Japan, the EU, China, and India. And we're trying to get a program started with sub-Saharan Africa in this space as well. Then I left undergraduate engineering education for last in this group because that has really consumed a great deal of our energy and activity over the past few decades. And certainly in this area, we have done many studies and workshops and activities looking at various issues related to engineering education. For a number of years, we had an initiative, our Center for the Advancement of Scholarship in Engineering Education. I saw Norman Fortenberry here this morning, who helped start that up. That sort of laid a foundation for us. It was an effort on our part to help build a scholarly community in this space. We've done a lot of work, continue to do a lot of work on future directions in engineering education, and that includes, it hits upon our work related to ethics, which I will turn to in a bit. But one element of this that is also important, and I think it's sort of inspirational for this particular meeting and its organization, is our Frontiers of Engineering Education, and that it was in some ways modeled on what we did with the Frontiers of Engineering effort, Frontiers of Engineering Research, but this is a program that brings together early to mid-career, actually I say a broader range of faculty who are innovating in this space in engineering education to share their work, their perspectives, to learn more about the sort of leading edge scholarship on engineering education, how people learn engineering. They brings them together for 2 or 3 days where they are sharing their work, they're participating in panels, and it really is has been a very important element in our broader education portfolio. And then related to all of this, we support activities related to the diversity of the engineering workforce. And our particular focus, or where we have gotten most traction, has been a resource website that is focused on middle school girls, our Engineer Girl website. And this is certainly an area or an issue that pervades much of our work in engineering education and public understanding of engineering. With respect to public understanding of engineering, we have done a number of things over the years to try to shape the way those in the engineering profession talk about engineering, about themselves, what an engineer is. Some of our work on Changing the Conversation was a report we did several years back that I think has helped reframe much of the public dialogue about engineering and how to think about it. But I think the activity that is consuming a great deal of my time and that of our leadership right now is our initiatives related to the grand challenges for engineering. And for those of you not familiar with this, back in 2008, the Academy convened a team of, we call it a sort of dream team of some of this generation's leading technological thinkers and doers to identify challenges, large societal challenges that would define the sort of trajectory or the mission of engineering into the next century. And they identified 14 grand challenges that were grouped around sort of four major clusters of health, sustainability, resilience, and joy of living. And they have inspired a number of different activities that have had wide-ranging impacts, including the instigation of a series of regional national summits that brought together a sort of dynamic set of engineering deans, educators, students, industry leaders, sort of regional development, regional government actors to sort of stimulate action, collaboration, and progress on addressing some of these grand challenges, and really overarching goal of it really to inspire the next generation. And that has in turn led to a series of global summits that we have engaged in jointly with the Royal Academy of Engineering and the Chinese Academy of Engineering. And I just wanted to make a brief plug for the U.S. We are hosting the third in this series of Global Grand Challenge Summits in July 18th through 20th, 1917, here in Washington. We're doing it jointly at this building and with the GW campus. And the purpose of the summit really is to bring together engineering leaders, policymakers, students. We expect over the half of the participants in this summit to be students, and others to really brainstorm paths forward to solutions for these grand challenges and ways that we might advance the Grand Challenge Scholars Program, which is another element of this as outgrowth of this Grand Challenges movement. The Scholars Program, which is really conceived of as a extracurricular activity on engineering campuses, is really designed to. These special programs are designed to integrate sort of 5 educational elements or competencies in students, including hands-on research, interdisciplinary learning, particularly relevant to today's topic, entrepreneurship and innovation, global cross-cultural understanding, and service learning, social consciousness through service learning. So this Grand Challenge Scholars Program was started up in 2009, 2010 on a few campuses around the country. Rick Miller at Olin College, Janis Yortzis at USC, and Tom Katsouleas, who was then at Duke, were the primary engines of this thing, and it has since grown, and there are now about 40 schools, 30 some odd in the States, and another 4 or 5 internationally that have established these programs. We have made an investment just recently in my office in hiring an individual who will help support and cultivate the expansion of this network of scholars programs. These are very much bottoms up, sort of grassroots driven, but the Academy is looking at ways that we can help support this. And there were 122 deans signed a letter of commitment back in early 2015 to build these programs out at their schools. So we are very hopeful that this will gather traction. I think it does present opportunities for the engagement with ethics. I mean, the infusion of ethics via this scholars program is certainly very much a reality and an opportunity for us. So let me take a final few seconds here, a few minutes to talk about the Center for Engineering Ethics and Society. I mean, this was established back in 2007 by our then president, Bill Wolfe. He was encouraged by a study group he put together, led by Norm Augustine, that said, the NAE really needed to develop a program of activities in this space to address the societal responsibilities of engineering, so the ethics of the profession, really in the face of increasing complexity and accelerating environmental and societal change and innovation. So through the activities of this CES, the Center for Engineering Ethics and Society, which include workshops, symposia, studies, and the like, they address ethically significant issues that arise in engineering and scientific research, in education and practice. So CES also manages the Online Ethics Center, which is a very popular electronic repository of resources on science, engineering, and research ethics. So I think this is something that is really targeted at practicing engineers, scientists, scholars, educators, and students. So why are we here? What brought us to this particular workshop? Well, as you are aware, I hope I brought a copy of it, and I think I left it on my copy of the report. That we conducted an activity that really resulted in a report. It's called the Infusing Ethics into the Development of Engineers. It is a collection of exemplars, 25 activities and programs that we felt were illustrative, exemplary to the various approaches to how one might infuse ethics into the development and education of engineers. The CEAS Advisory Group recognized that there were significant institutional, pedagogical, and cultural challenges to infusing ethics into the development of engineers. And so in order to strengthen the development of ethical engineers and address these challenges, the committee decided to organize this workshop and to build it around, the model of model it a little bit on our Frontiers of Engineering Education program. So the workshop really is convening experts to share their work and experiences and lessons learned, to discuss strategies and solutions for overcoming institutional and cultural challenges, and to develop institutional plans and collaborations for incorporating ethics into the curriculum and culture of engineering education. So we bring together a select group of current and emerging leaders in ethics and engineering who are working to improve the ethical development of engineers. The workshop is designed to recognize these accomplishments, to broaden collaboration, share knowledge, and build mentoring relationships, and to promote the development and dissemination of pioneering practice in engineering ethics education. So we have a big goal for this effort. Teams have also will also have several opportunities to discuss their own institutional plans and approaches to work toward institutional and cultural change with fellow attendees, the CEAS Advisory Group members, and panel speakers. So we want them all to return to campus with both the enthusiasm and a supportive network of colleagues to help you continue to improve your own educational innovations and to work to affect campus change. So I want to thank the CEAS Advisory Group for developing the workshop, for reviewing the applications and serving as mentors to the teams. I want to thank our sponsors from the National Science Foundation, Elliott Douglas and Wenda Bauspies, particularly for their support. They're both here with us. And I'd like to thank Fraser and Rochelle Hollander and the rest of the CEAS staff team for all the work they've done to help put this together. So with that, if you have any questions of me, I'd be happy to answer them, but otherwise I will turn the panel over to Fraser. Good.